Hello, welcome to Majestic School. Today, in our chemistry class, we are looking at physical change. What is a physical change? A physical change is that which is easily reversible. Physical change is easily reversible. It is easily reversible. That is one of the qualities of a physical change. You can easily get back what you started from. Another thing about physical change is that no new substance is formed. No new substance. No new substance is formed. So that is another point about physical change. Take for instance, you have your water. If you have water, which is in liquid form, you have your water in liquid form, and you freeze your water, it becomes ice. Then when you apply heat to ice again, it becomes liquid. Goes back to your liquid water. And if you apply further heat to it, it becomes steam. So your steam is gas. This is a clear example of physical change. There are other examples of physical change. We can talk about dry ice. Dry ice is frozen CO2, carbon dioxide, and your dry ice with very little heat, it sublimes. It undergoes sublimation. And when it undergoes sublimation, it means that it turns from solid directly to gas, from solid straight to gas without turning to liquid. That is the process of sublimation, solid to gas. There are other substances that undergo sublimation, but we'll limit our discussion to this only. Other examples of physical change, you have the dissolution of common salt in water. Salt in water. The dissolution of salt in water. When you dissolve salt in water, by the time you heat it, the water evaporates and you get your salt again. That is one of the characteristics of physical change. Physical change, you can easily get back what you started with. So we say they are easily reversible. Another example of physical change is melting of ice. Melting of ice. When your ice melts, you freeze it again, then you get the same ice. Another example of physical change is boiling of water. Boiling of water. Another example of physical change is dissolution of sugar. Dissolution of sugar. Another one is expansion of metal rod. Expansion of metal rod. You know, metal expand when heat is applied. The expansion of metal rod is an example of physical change, because when you cool the same metal rod, it will contract and go back to the exact, or go back to the state or the position where it started from. Now let's look at characteristics of physical change. What are the characteristics? What are the characteristics of physical change? So what are these characteristics of physical change? What are the things you will notice and you will observe and say, oh, this is a physical change? Number one is that the reaction is easily reversible. Like we talk about ice, we talk about water, boiling of water and turning it to steam, collecting the steam, freezing the steam, getting it back to ice, then ice, you heat it, you melt it again, and it comes back. It's like a cycle. So it's easily reversible, reversibility of what we started with. Physical change are easily reversible. Number two is no new substance is formed. When you are talking about the components that started the reaction, no new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. In physical changes, like the one we've mentioned, water remains water. The constituent of steam is the same when it turns to water or liquid. When it's still ice, the constituent remains the same. So there is no change. There is no new substance that is formed. Then the other one is that there is no change in mass. No change in mass, which is no new mass, because no new substance, there is no change in mass. No change in mass. Another one is it does not involve great heat change. No great heat change. No great heat change. If you observe, we don't need to begin to apply so much heat for these processes, like the dissolution of sugar. Ordinary water can dissolve sugar very well. Ordinary water can dissolve salt completely. So there are no new heat, no great heat that is needed for these reactions. We don't really need so much of heat to be applied. In the next class, we are going to talk about chemical change. Thank you very much for watching our video. I want you to share this video, watch it again and again so you can apply them in your classroom. Share it with your friends, like our videos, and subscribe to this channel so we can do much more of this kind of video. Thank you and God bless.